Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition of Grassroots Racing Show.
Welcome to the Grassroots Racing Show. I'm Doug Thompson with co-host Roger Thompson. Roger, we've moved into that time of year now where looks like the spring's over. We've had some really good rains, and that's caused some delay in the racing, but I think most of the people in the racing industry would say that's okay because the ponds are filling back up throughout at least our portion of Kansas, and it looks like the weather's been pretty good for the purpose of moisture coming in for the spring crops. And now we're moving into that time of the year where, of course, we've been through the tornadoes. The tornadoes from Moore, Oklahoma, and that area came on through, and the devastation is tremendous. But now we've moved into that time of year where the temperatures are starting to change, and you're seeing some 94, 95, 100-degree weather. And as we know from racing, from every aspect of it, like when we prepared the tracks at different times in our careers, then it's tough to get the tracks wet enough to keep the dust down for a program. And when you're driving on the tracks, you begin to see when the feature time gets there, it's that dry, slick racing conditions, and you got to adjust your chassis accordingly.
Everybody slows down during that time.
Yep, and starting position becomes very critical then, so your heat races now take on greater importance. Well, we've sent Mike Kraft out to Thunderhill, and you've raced Thunderhill?
Say it isn't so. They've been rained out
They have been rained out, but we
think they're going to get this one in?
Oh, I think so. We can count on Mike Kraft. Mike has that magic, you know, wherever he goes, they seem to get their races in, and they put on a really good show. And this is the racing from May 11th at Thunderhill Speedway. And the Cronkite brothers, and I think their dad, still put on that track and do a really good job. I hear nothing but good things.
Fast high bank. It's a fun track to race on, and I've heard some good things about it in the last couple of years now.
Had a couple of their relatives were here over the past weekend. We're here at the Kansas Auto Racing Museum, and they enjoyed looking around. We got talking about Thunderhill, and they said, boy, those guys are working hard trying to make a go of it. They're pretty close to the casino right up there, and traffic count's really good. We'll be anxious to see. They always used to get a really good field of cars, and I think it'll be good racing. Mike Kraft always does a good job with the races. Do you know the classes of cars that are going to be up there?
They're IMCA. They're an IMCA track now, so they're running the IMCA modifieds and the stocks and the sport. I think it's the sport mods. Yeah, they're running the IMCA sport mods. So
and then are they running? Yeah, they're running the IMCA hobby stocks. And do they have mini stocks? Yeah, they do. They're running the mini stocks up there. Class near and dear to me because I had the opportunity. Yeah, hold it out there. Mine's this way. Yours is out there. So we're going to go take a short break. When we come back, we're headed to Thunderhill Speedway with Mike Kraft. Stay tuned.
Track at Thunderhill Speedway. I'm Eddie Swope Jr., 2012 IMCA Sport Mod Champion with my jet car, Carl Chevrolet Crate engine.
Outside here of Lobdell, see if he can do something with him this time. Wade's liking the top side of the racetrack here. Heller's still a little too high there and lets Lobdell get a run off him off of 4. Wade trying to make a race out of this. Looking to the inside as they come by the flag stand. Takes the lead into turn 1. Lobdell's going to look to the bottom. Nothing there. Wade's going to extend his lead down the backstretch. So now it's Heller in the lead, followed by Lobdell. Lobdell's looking to the inside of him here in 3.
White flag.
White flag this time by for Wade Heller. Wade Heller going to lead the field to the checkered flag, pick up the first feature win of the season here at Thunderhill Speedway. Second place goes to Brandon Lobdell. The 4D of Alex Boyden, and finish up his first feature race ever, folks. That's Austin Umscheid in the U69 right here.
For these guys.
Carrie, go to 2, please.
Yeah, 4 should be down there on the front straightaway.
So your top 4 looks like this. They're going to go down and visit with Bobby Potts here in just a minute. Wade Heller, Brandon Lobdell, Alex Boyden, and Alan Rice, all the way from Minneapolis, Kansas, finishing up the field there.
I'm Ken Tatro, and you're watching the Grassroots Racing Show on my favorite network.
Wide racetrack, now I want to run on the bottom.
Brian Stitch still out front. Josh Hayden second. Jake Crowell putting on a lot of pressure there on Josh Hayden.
Patrick Doherty in the 6th.
Patrick Doherty in the 6th. Mallory Stifler in the 187.
I'll see you in a little bit,
She just got married, didn't she? You got those batteries?
I got them. Thanks.
Caution on the speedway. A couple of cars getting together here right on the outside of turn 4.
Thank you.
Apologize for the wireless mic not working. Single file restart. Brian Stitch in the 21 going to lead the field around with the green flag. Flag on the speedway, still Brian Stitch, Joshua Hay, Jacob Crowell, Patrick Doherty in the 6th, Mallory Stifler in the 87, Jake Crowell took a look to the outside. He's getting pressure from the 6 and Patrick Doherty. Now Crowell trying to make a move off of 2. Nothing doing there. Cleans ground as they head into turn 3. Now he's going to look to the bottom, see if he can make a pass on Josh Hayden coming out of 4. Side by side at the flag stand, going to lead him into turn 1. Jake Crowell moves into 2nd spot. Now he looks at Brian Stitch. 72 car spins around here out of the edge of turn 4. Caution on the speedway. All right, lights are out on the speedway. Brian Stitch going to lead the field around. Jake Crowell now finds himself in 2nd spot. Josh Hayden in 3rd. Green flag flies over Thunderhill Speedway. Single file till you reach the cone. No passing before that. Jake Crowell now looks to the inside of Stitch as they go down the backstretch. Going to see if he can make that pass stick to 3 and 4. Jake Crowell now leads the field out of 4. Here comes Stitch on the bottom. Looks to the inside of Crowell. Nothing for him there. Jake's going to lead the field out of 2. Still Jake Crowell, followed by Brian Stitch, Patrick Doherty, Josh Hayden, Mallory Stifler. Stitch looking to the outside of Crowell as they enter into turn 3 and 4. Stitch trying to use the high side to his advantage. Pulls up even with him at the flag stand. Jake going to try and use the low line, see if he can come off. Stitch trying to get a better run off in turn 2. Dead even down the backstretch. Stitch trying to pull ahead just a little bit here in 3. As they come out of 4, Stitch has the preferred line, just a nose ahead of him. Lead goes back to Brian Stitch for that one. Stitch is using the upper groove to his advantage. Now Jake moves up there with him. See if he can look inside of him here in 3. Still Brian Stitch. Jacob Crowell trying everything he can to find a way around him. Looks to the inside in turn 2. Not enough to get a run off of him there. Almost nose to tail down the backstretch. Check. Stitch leads the field to the white flag. Crowell trying to get 2 cars, having trouble coming off of turn 4 here. Jake looking to the inside. Who's going to win this one? Jake's on the inside. Oh, Brian Stitch gets him at the flag stand. Round of applause. In 4th, Mallory Stifler. Patrick Doherty in 3rd. Jacob Crowell in 2nd. Brian Stitch picks up the win. How about a Thunderhill Speedway welcome?
This is Scotty Anderson, and you're watching my favorite show, Grassroots Racing.
Coming out is our Belleville Motorsports IMCA Northern Sport Mods. And on the pole, and tonight, remember folks, tonight was a redraw night. I mean, it doesn't matter where you finished in your heat race. You went back and redrew to start because nobody has a point average. So it's Ricky Abrams in the 17 junior, Brandon Damon in the 33D, Gary Holtis in the 50, Eddie Schwope Jr. in the 91, Brian Rigsby in the 12, Luke Stahlbaumer in the L26, Clay Hale in the 22H, Brandon Mitchell, Adam Patch in the 19P, Dustin Christ in the 222, Curtis Peel in the 3K, Tony Manley in the 3X, Ricky Tanner in the 54, Jacob Schmutz in the J1, Brian Nieberger in the 38, Matthew Bailey in the 11, Curtis Drescher in the C4, Mark Hunsinger, Eddie Schroep III, Rich Boyden in the 4U, Derek Smith in the 71S, Rick Drescher, Kyle Oberding, Eric Spreer, and Mike Taylor in the 34. How about it? Green flag flies. Try it now.
The 4-car jump start.
Brandon Damon leads the field out of the back straightaway down into turn 3. Rigsby finds himself in 2nd position. Eddie Schwope trying to get into 3rd spot here using the low line around Thunderhill Speedway. Him and Gary Holt has got quite a race going on right here. Still Brandon Damon out front. Brandon Damon Rigsby. Eddie Schwope now moves into 3rd spot, takes that away from Gary Holtis. Caution on the speedway. Luke Stahlbaumer way up top here.
On the 26, girls, and I don't see who that is on the back. 51S. 71S. 36 to the
around here to the green flag one more time around. In 2nd, Holtis in 3rd, Eddie Schwope in 4th. Damon goes high, Rigsby goes underneath as they come out of turn 2, makes the pass in 3 and 4. Damon still trying the high side, not liking it, going to pull down the bottom, try the crossover underneath him here. Nothing for him. So Rigsby now with the new leader. Damon looking to the inside, see if he can do anything with him as they come out of turn 2. Gets a real good run off of turn 2 and takes the lead down the backstretch. Still Damon, see if he can make the turn here in 3 and 4. So now it's Damon back out front this lap. Followed by Rigsby, Holtis, and Schwope. front now. Rigsby looking to the inside of Damon as they come off of turn 2, dead even down the backstretch. Pulls ahead in turn 3. Damon's up on the top side of the racetrack. Now it's Rigsby's turn to lead a couple laps. So now Rigsby, Damon, Schwab, Holtis. Still Rigsby showing the way around. Damon trying to look to the underside of him. Rigsby gets a better run off of turn 2, pulls ahead of Damon by a couple car lengths. Got a car accident at the top of turn 2 here. Still Rigsby out front, followed by Brendan Damon. So it's Rigsby, Brendan Damon, Eddie Schwab now. Schwab trying to put more pressure on him. Driving deep into turn 3 here, makes the turn, looking to the inside of Brendan Damon, see if he can do anything with him, try to gain second spot. As these two get to racing harder and harder back here in second, Rigsby moves out in front a little further. So it's still Eddie Schwab looking right behind Brendan Damon.
White flag.
White flag for Brian Rigsby. The leader's gaining up on lap traffic now. Still Brendan Damon in second, Eddie Schwab Jr. in third, Gary Holtis in fourth. Brian Rigsby pulls off the win, followed by Brendan Damon, Eddie Schwab Jr. and Gary Holtis. In the 12 car, Brian Rigsby. There you go, Brian. Sounds like you got a couple of fans here at Thunderhill Speedway this evening. All right, Thunderhill Speedway, here we come. Our Heinen Repair Service IMCA stock cars. 15 lap A feature tonight. 15 lap A feature. Greg Dieters in the 29, Mike Nichols in the 63, Marvin Griffith Jr. in the 75M, Alvy Christopherson in the 22A, Kyle Vanover in the 19, Anthony Robertson in the 62, Jim Powell Jr. in the 20P,
Look behind you.
Christine Brown in the 11. Lights are out here on the speedway. Greg Dieters leads them around to get the green flag. We're racing. Who are they for? What's the story behind it? He gave them to you, or?
No, he's my uncle.
He's your uncle? I got a flashlight up here in the tower. It's a pen flashlight. Marvin Griffith Jr.'s Niece brought it up to me. Thank you very much. Can I? All right. I can see now. Mike Nichols out front, followed by Marvin Griffith Jr., Kyle Vanover in third. Curry had some rough luck again.
God dang it.
What the hell happened?
He got a little impatient.
Still Nichols out front. Kyle Vanover got a great run down the backstretch trying to catch Marvin Griffith Jr. Still Nichols in the 63 out front. Marvin Griffith Jr. in second. Kyle Vanover trying to work him over. See if he can do anything. 3 wide further behind him. I like this place. Still Mike Nichols. Here's the race. Marvin Griffith Jr., Kyle Vanover trying to work him over on the inside. They're side by side as they come by the flag stand. Marvin Griffith Jr. trying to stay even with him. Just can't do it. Kyle Vanover pulls him out of turn 2. Down the backstretch they come. Vanover's in second. Mike Nichols, Kyle Vanover, Marvin Griffith Jr. Your top 3. Lance Borgman now moves his way into 4th. It's hard to keep up with all these. When Nichols shows up, you know he's going to try to win the
Oh, yeah. He's fast.
Mike Nichols leads the field around all the way from Iowa. Is he from Harlan, Iowa? Is that where he's from?
You know, I'm not sure if that's where it is or not.
Halfway through this thing, caution free so far. Mike Nichols still leading the way.
There's a lot of pits down there.
Mike Nichols now coming up the lap traffic, so it's still Nichols, Vanover, Marvin Griffith Jr.
Kyle's reeling him in a little bit. Not much.
Not a whole lot. Yeah, he's getting closer. Let's see what this lap car does to him. Mess him up or not now. He's gaining on him, isn't he? Vanover trying to reel in Mike Nichols. Oh, lap car slides up in front of him. Vanover gives him the chrome horn, says, hey, looky here, I was back here.
That screwed him up.
So Nichols still out front. Vanover can't do much with him now. Marvin Griffith Jr. in third, followed by Lance Borgman.
White flag.
All right, as they come around to the white flag, did you see that blue and white flag? That is not a move over flag here. That's a hold your line flag. That's a we'll pass you. You just stay right where you're at here at Thunderhill Speedway. Now the white flag for Mike Nichols, Kyle Vanover, Marvin Griffith Jr. Now Lance Borgman trying to take over Marvin Griffith Jr.'s spot. Leading the field around to the checkered flag. Here comes Mike Nichols out of Harlan, Iowa. Kyle Vanover, Marvin Griffith Jr. in the 75, and Lance Borgman. Followed by Jim Powell. That should round out your top 4 or 5. Oh. Mike Nichols, picks up the win. Followed by closely by Kyle Vanover, Marvin Griffith Jr., and Lance Boardman. All right, Thunderhill Speedway. This is our BSB Manufacturing IMCA Modified A main event tonight.
20 laps.
20 laps around this great, big, beautiful Thunderhill Speedway. On the pole, remember this was a draw-redraw night. Jordan Grabowski in the 30 car. To his right in the 24 from Salina, Kansas, Corey LeGrune. Justin Becker in the 70. If you take a good close look at that car a little later on this evening, that's a camouflage frame car. Richard Spriggs in the 81S. Mike Petersilly in the 25P from Hoisington, Kansas. Derek Brown in the 63. Kenny Cross in the 57, row 4. Jesse Richter in the 8R. Corey Birch in the 7. Tom Charles in the 81. Mike Bailey in the 6B. Alan Halderman in the 178. Stephen Birch in the 11L. Scott Terry in the 33T. Chris Hiller in the 187. Scott Brown in the 11. Danny Holt and Robert Holt Jr. make up the last row. Everybody, Thunderhill Speedway, stand up and wave at these guys. I can see you. Come on, stand up. Lights are out. We're going to go green flag racing. 20 laps around. 18 cars. Nose to tail. Grabowski's going to lead him out of turn 4. Green flag, and we're racing. Corey LeGrune didn't get a great start. Slides to the top of the racetrack. Gets passed by a couple of cars. Going to have to gather him back in. Corey slides back into the 3rd spot. Side by side. Gets a good run down into turn 3. Car doesn't turn very well. Slides up high in 4. Too tight?
Yeah.
Got a little accident here. A couple cars get together. Oh, man. That's the Derek Brown in the 63 getting gathered up by Alan Halderman. Caution on the speedway. We're going to try this one again. Out on the speedway, folks. Jordan Grabowski is going to lead the field around. Followed by Justin Becker. Mike Petersilly's found himself in 3rd spot. Corey LeGrune's in 4th. Kenny Cross in 5th.
Corey Birch.
Corey Birch in the 7th car. Jordan Grabowski leads the field around down into turn 3, drives way down deep in there, using the higher side of the racetrack yet. Tell you the guy that really likes the high side around this place is Mike Petersilly, being closely chased by Corey LeGrune. Mike likes that high, wide, and handsome line. Grabowski drops to the bottom out of 4. So it's Grabowski, Becker, Corey Birch now. Corey LeGrune now pulls up here beside Mike Petersilly down the backstretch. Corey trying to work him over, see if he can use the bottom side of the racetrack to his advantage. Side by side out of 4. Justin Becker trying to reel in Jordan Grabowski. Still Petersilly and LeGrune, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Kenny Cross way on the top side of the racetrack there in 3.
The car up on the top by the scales.
Caution on the speedway. Got a car backwards up here up by the scales. Just off the top of turn 2. He's rolling now and moving. Who is that?
Heller.
But yeah, he was up against the wall. I didn't see him either.
Chris Heller. He's going to lead the field out of turn 4. Justin Becker, Mike Petersilly going to try and get a run at him. I thought you couldn't pass before the cone.
supposed to.
Still Jordan Grabowski out in front. Justin Becker in the 70 car. Mike Peterson in the 25P. Corey LeGrew in the 24. Still Jordan Grabowski. Think he's still too tight?
I don't know, the track's getting a little slicker now. He's found him a little groove there. It's kind of hard to pass.
Wow. Still the 30 car, Jordan Grabowski, Justin Becker, Mike Peterson, and Corey LeGrew. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Jesse Richter's now moving into the 5th spot.
Wow.
What?
Richter got to going.
Yeah. Jesse's the track champion here last year.
Halfway.
Field being shown the cross flags. That's halfway. 10 more laps to go. Nothing much has changed out front here. Still Jordan Grabowski, Justin Becker, Mike Peterson, and Corey LeGrew. Jesse Richter now finds himself in the 5th spot. Kenny Cross finds himself in 6th. Corey LeGrew still trying to do something with Mike Peterson. Diving to the inside of him here in 3. Got a couple car lengths over Justin Becker. 3 or 4 more car lengths back to Mike Peterson in 3rd. Corey LeGrew still sits solidly in 4th. Richter in 5th. Kenny Cross in 6th. I tell you, the Cross team put an engine in that race car earlier this evening before the races began, right here in the pits. Now coming up on lap traffic. Laps are winding down. Justin Becker just can't reel him in. Sits solidly in 2nd. Takes the field one more lap around. Here they come to the checkered flag. Jordan Grabowski picks up the win. Justin Becker, Mike Peterson, Corey LeGrew, Jesse Richter, Kenny Cross. Who's that? All right, race fans, there you have it. There they are in the 24 car in 4th, Corey LeGrew. In the 25 Mike Petersilly, the 70 car, Justin Becker, picking up the win, Jordan Grabowski in the 30 car. How about a big Thunderhill welcome to these guys?
Hey, Jenny, I'm done.
Hope everyone is enjoying their night at the track, Thunderhill Speedway. I'm the driver of the 4A Hobby Stock, Nathan Munhall, and I'll be in your in-car camera.
Welcome back to the Grassroots Racing Show. I'm Doug Thompson with co-host Roger Thompson. Roger, we have been so busy on so many projects lately that we're getting to do almost the same thing that the viewers are. We're getting to watch the racing from Thunderhill Speedway, and then from what we're doing, and that's what the racers just now watched as they're sitting at home. And so we watched it here in the studio, and that's the first chance I'd had to see that particular racing from Thunderhill. That track looked great. The car count was fantastic. Cronkite family has to be delighted with the racing from there.
Oh, I'm sure of it. And there were some heart-stopping races there.
There were.
Particularly, I'm thinking about the, wasn't it the hobby stock race? They made a pass on the last lap. That was the hobby stocks,
yep,
I think.
Made a little note of it. It happened right at the finish line, right at the flag stand.
Good racing all the way through.
I really like the line that you see at Thunderhill, because you know from having raced that track, it is high bank, and there's at least two types of racing mentality that runs up there, and one runs at the top of the track, and they think they can keep their momentum up. And I've tried every one of them. I think if I win, I think, okay, I got it figured out. If I don't, I said, what was I thinking? But if you run right at the top of the track, you can keep your momentum up. You run faster, but you're running further. And those that can run right down, kind of like the Danny Lasowski that we think of, you know, runs right down on the pole. They go the shortest distance and accelerate into the next corner and around it as quick as they can, and you're flying like the end of a yo-yo going around there at the top side. And then there's those who run right in the middle. They're not real sure. They maybe want to run low, but then they hit the corner so hard they slide up, so that makes it look like, well, that's what I intended to do. Or they start to go up and they decide, well, maybe I don't want to be clear up here. And so they run right in the middle. And we saw a lot of that tonight in every class.
It's a lot more difficult to run down on that infield, because you have to resist that temptation to overrun the corner. The advantage is, like you said, you're going a shorter distance. It's a lot easier on your tires when you don't get that chassis sideways, and particularly in a long race, you've got the grip, and you can come off of the corner really strong because your car's straight. The guy on the high side, he's running on that right rear, as you know, and he's heating it up, and his old motors are screaming, and we know a few of them around here who just screamed those engines around there, and Shelby made it work, but boy, he sure burned her up.
He burned up a lot of motors doing it.
But yeah, it was some exciting racing, and the competition was incredible. Take a look at the modified race, the A main, and see who finished down there at 16th.
You got Tom Charles from Bonner Springs.
Now that doesn't happen very often.
No, and I'm assuming maybe he had some car trouble, but don't know. Recognize.
I don't remember that, but
yeah, I don't remember. I I remember seeing Tom at the start of it. I see Kenny Cross got 6th, and Kenny's out of Salina. Corey Lagoon got 4th out of Salina.
What's really encouraging about the Thunderhill races is as you look at the lineup, there's a lot of local guys that are racing there, and that is a very good sign. They're all within probably 60 miles of the Topeka area, and good car count.
Yep, and if you take a look at in the IMCA stocks, the A main, we saw that. That was an excellent race that Mike was able to film for us. And Mike Nichols, who does very well at the Nationals out of Harlan, Iowa. So he's traveling quite a ways to come check out the competition.
Well, he's after the points, no doubt.
Well, yeah, and he's a national champion, I think in the top 3 of the national championship anyway. And in the sports mod, Brian Rigsby out of Topeka won that race, and that was excellent racing. The mini stock winner was Wade Heller, and congratulations to him. We mentioned that Brian's, I think it's pronounced Stitch, won at the flag over Jacob Crowd.
Yeah, it's very close.
Yeah, good racing. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week on the Grassroots Racing Show. If you want to catch any of the shows, go to grassrootsracing.org. Thanks for watching.